Ever wonder what separates the people who are consistently successful from, well, everyone else? We're talking about that elite 2% who just seem to operate on a completely different level day in and day out. It's not magic, and it's not just about talent. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on a secret that you can start using right away.
Yeah, just look at that number. We are talking about just 2% of people. That is the tiny, tiny fraction who consistently practice the one skill that unlocks sustained peak performance. I mean, think about that, only 2 out of every 100. But here's the good news. This has absolutely nothing to do with raw talent or luck. It's a skill you can learn, and we're about to show you how.
So what is their secret? How in the world do they manage to avoid the burnout and the fatigue that so many of us just accept as normal? How do they stay sharp, focused, and creative, not just on a good day, but day after day? All right, let's get to the answer. So the secret of this elite group, it's surprisingly simple, but wow, is it powerful. It's all about making a fundamental shift in how you interact with your own energy and focus all day long. And here's the crazy part. It has absolutely nothing to do with grinding harder or optimizing every supplement or trying to adopt some complex, crazy productivity system. The secret is actually tuning into a sense that every single one of us already has, but that most of us have learned to completely ignore. That's right. Your body is constantly sending you information. We're talking crucial data about your energy levels, your focus, and your need for rest. The real skill is just learning to listen. And that's what we're diving into now, the actual science of those internal signals. So there's a fancy name for this. It's called interoceptive awareness. But all it really means is the conscious practice of paying attention to, and this is the important part, understanding the signals coming from inside your body. Things like your heart rate, your breathing, your hunger, and yeah, your mental fatigue. This is such a great way to think about it. Imagine your body has its own private notification system. It pings you when you need to recharge. The problem is, most of us have had those alerts on silent for years, just pushing through until our internal battery is totally and completely drained. And look, this isn't some new age fad, right? The idea of listening to your body has really deep roots, from ancient mindfulness practices all the way to the latest in modern sleep science. It's about aligning with our natural bodily rhythms, which science is now proving are absolutely critical for performance. So this really lays out the choice we have every single day. When we ignore our body's signals, we're basically on a direct path to burnout, making more mistakes, and feeling exhausted. But when we start listening, man, we open the door to real focus, genuine clarity, and actual recovery. The difference is just, it's night and day. Okay, so theory is great, but how do we actually do this? Let's get practical. Let's look at a simple rule you can start using today to put all this awareness into action. So get this. Sleep scientists discovered something fascinating. Our bodies operate on these rhythms, not just when we're sleeping, but all day long. They're called Ultradian rhythms, and basically they're 90-minute cycles of high-energy brain activity followed by a period of lower energy activity. Pushing past that 90-minute peak, that's when our focus just shatters and we start making dumb mistakes. And that science, it leads us right to this super simple 4-step process, the 90-minute rule. First, you engage in about 90 minutes of focused, uninterrupted work. Step 2, and this is the most important part, listen for your body's fatigue signals as you get near the end of that cycle. Step 3, take 15 to 20 minutes of intentional rest. And then you just repeat the cycle. Okay, but let's be super clear about what intentional rest actually means. It is not switching from your work spreadsheet to your social media feed. That's just trading one kind of stimulation for another. True rest is about disconnecting. Take a short walk, do some light stretching, just stare out the window and daydream, or listen to some music. You gotta let your brain actually recharge. This all sounds great in theory, right? But how do you actually start and make it a real habit? Let's break down the very first steps to joining that elite 2% who've really mastered their internal rhythm. Look, don't try to change your whole life overnight. Just start small. Aim for just one perfect 90-minute cycle tomorrow. And pay close attention. What are your specific fatigue signals? Do you start fidgeting? Suddenly feel hungry? Do you yawn? Figure out what they are. And finally, you have to treat your rest period as seriously as a meeting with your boss. Seriously, put it on your calendar and do not cancel it. And I really want to drive this point home. This is not a strategy for working less. It's a strategy for achieving more, with less stress and a much higher quality of work. This is the very definition of working smarter, because you're aligning your effort
with your body's natural biological design for peak performance.
So, in the end, the path to better performance, better recovery, and better focus, it's not going to be in some app or a new supplement. The answers are already inside you. They're sending you signals every single moment. So, the only question left is, are you ready to finally turn up the volume and start listening?